Hello everyone, welcome to Durrett Steak. With college football games happening tomorrow, it's finally time to go over my college football playoff predictions. Now, in order to see the full analysis of each team in each conference and bowl game projections and all that, please go on my LinkedIn page, Down Durrett, and you'll find my article on there. But for this video specifically, I'm just going to go over my playoff predictions. So let's get started. So in the first round, I have 5 seed Alabama facing 12 seed, which would be the group of 5 best team. And in this case, I have it being James Madison. I like their schedule a lot. They have to go to Louisville, which I think could be a loss. But other than that, like they host Washington State at home, and then like I said earlier, if you look at my group of 5 video on top group 5 teams, I just like their schedule a lot and like all the players they have coming back and they brought in the portal and all that. I feel like they're definitely going to be in the mix there. Now, if Boise State also has just one loss, then Boise State will get the benefit of the doubt because they're Boise State. But if Boise State can find a way to lose 2 games, and assuming all the other group of 5 conference champions may have 2 losses, whatever, then that's where James Madison can sneak in. And then as far as the next matchup, I have 6 seed Texas A&M versus the last team I have making the field, which will be the first 3-loss team making the playoff, because last year a 3-loss team didn't. That wasn't a conference champion. And I have that being the Ohio State Buckeyes. I feel like because of their strength of schedule, whether they win or lose against Texas at home, at least you face them at home. And then I do feel like they're going to get a big one against Penn State at home. So even if they do lose like at Washington or at Illinois or something, but they get that big win against the Penn State, who I feel like is going to be 10, and that could be the defining factor to get them in the playoffs. And plus, they're defending champions, so they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. And then for the next matchup, we got 7 seed Washington, the Big Ten runners-up, versus 10 seed Illinois. And then you get the 8 seed Kansas State, the Big 12 champs, hosting 9 seed Oregon. So those are the first round matchups. And then in the quarterfinals, you have 1 seed Texas versus 9 seed Oregon. In that case, I would have Texas winning that one in the Cotton Bowl. And then in the Orange Bowl, you got 3 seed Clemson versus 6 seed Texas A&M. Now this one would be a fascinating matchup, and I feel like it would go down the wire. But I would take Clemson and their experience there to get the win. And then the Rose Bowl, you got 2 Penn State versus 7 seed Washington, and which they wouldn't have faced each other in the regular season, but I guess they would have just faced in the Big Ten title game, so that would be interesting to face just a couple weeks later. But I would have Penn State winning that game. And then in the Sugar Bowl, you got 5 seed Alabama versus 4 seed Georgia. And now they would have faced in the regular season, but when those teams face, it's always a good matchup. And that one, I've actually got Alabama getting the upset there. And moving on to the semifinals. So in the Fiesta Bowl, you got 1 seed Texas versus 5 seed Alabama. They don't play each other in the regular season, so that's good. But that's a fun matchup. I feel like I can go either way, but this time I have Texas getting over that semifinals hump and getting into the championship game. And then the Peach Bowl, you have 3 seed Clemson versus 2 seed Penn State. Now, top to bottom, Penn State is the better team here. But because of Dabo Swinney, his championship coaching experience, and the veterans that they have, and with James Franklin usually choking in the big games like he did last year in the playoffs, I feel like Clemson will get the upset here against Penn State, and there'll be a Clemson-Texas championship game, which is interesting because that was the first round matchup in the playoffs last year. But nevertheless, I feel like this game would be a fun game to watch. But again, as far as that championship veteran experience, I'm going to go with my surprise picking Clemson to win it all. So because I know the top 2 favorites are Texas and Penn State, but I'm going to have Clemson winning the whole thing. So thank you very much for listening to my podcast today. Please subscribe to my channel about me. Make sure to tune into the Week 0 games tomorrow with the top 25 matchup between Kansas State and Iowa State and Ireland, and then Kansas, Fresno State, Stanford, Hawaii. And then of course enjoy the first weekend of college the following week with big games like LSU and Clemson, and Bama, Florida State, and Georgia Tech, Colorado, and TCU and North Carolina, and of course Texas and Ohio State. So thank you very much. Again, go to my LinkedIn page, Down to Red, to preview my full college football preseason article. Y'all have a wonderful day.